Nobody in He-Man. I mean, forget about the fact that Prince Adam looked exactly like He-Man.
Right.
I haven't.
He had a green cat then He-Man also had a green cat. It was just rubbing people's faces.
Battle Cat didn't do shit, and Cringer had a personality. Battle Cat just had a helmet on.
Sure.
Right?
It didn't make him less recognizable.
He-Man.
I got to assume there's a Hardwick podcast that's covered all of this.
Hey, He-Man.
Peter Lorre is back.
Hey,
it's me,
He-Man,
right?
it's me, Peter Lorre. Hey, man. Hey, man, huh? Did you watch that thing on Netflix, the toys that made us in the 80s? They did this whole like creation of He-Man and like how like the guy who created He-Man, the toy, was just talking shit about the cartoon. Like he goes, he's all buff. Prince Adam's all buff. He's like all ripped, but he's a wimp. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
So what came first, the toy or the cartoon?
The toy.
Oh.
The people, I forgot who was it. Was Mattel?
I think.
What?
Was it? Oh.
Well, Hasbro has He-Man now, but I think Mattel had He-Man, but they had a chance to get Star Wars. They went, nah, that movie's not going to go anywhere. And then Kenner got it. And then they went, shit. And then G.I. Joe came around, and they went, fuck. And then they said, well, why don't we create something? Why don't we create a property before the movie? Mm-hmm. And they created He-Man. And He-Man is just like, they looked at G.I. Joe and they looked at like Luke Skywalker and they go, look at these guys. They're not posed. They have so blank expressions. They're really small. Let's make them really buff and give them like expression and like, you know, like make them a bigger toy. And then during like the pitch meeting when they were going to like Toys R Us, they said, yeah, well, how are kids going to know about this? And they go, oh, well, they're going to watch the cartoon. And they went, oh, okay, well, then we'll buy a bunch of this stuff. This sounds great. And then they left the room and said, well, what do you mean cartoon? And they go, well, we'll have to make some phone calls.
All right, Schrab,
when we get back.
If you could make like a movie or a TV show and there was an action figure that kids played with, what would that action figure be?
What? Like make up a new one?
If you created a show that is something like an idea that you've already had, because you've got lots of great ideas, or a new one. But if you found out when you were an old man on your deathbed and kids all loved their one action figure, what would that action figure be?
Something that's already pre-existing?
No, like something that you created.
Well, probably Scud. I mean, like Scud.
Oh, a Scud.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, Scud had an action figure, but that was a disaster.
We hit peak toy with Micronauts. My brother had Micronauts, and like they were the best toy line fun. Ever. They were all swallowable pieces. Yes. Everything that was the gimmick. Everything was swallowable.
Yeah.
Like
they had little fists that could come off that were like pill size.
Everything was pill size. Everything was removable. Their heads were everything good. It was just the size of a baby's epiglottis.
Yeah.
No bigger, no smaller.
Yeah.
What was the guy that talks fast?
That was Micro Machines.
Micro Machines.
Did you have this Micronauts toy? This is a deep cut. This is deeper than, this is like,
my brother might have had it.
It was a giant hornet with like purple transparent wings. It was a spaceship.
And then you could hold all your Micronauts in it?
I don't know it was like Wasptron or something like that or whatever, but it had like this, it was all black, had like a pointed face with like red windows. You could open it up. That was the cockpit. You could put your Micronaut in it, and then had like these laser purple wings that you could make flap or whatever. And it was like the coolest thing ever. And Jeff Schrab got that for Christmas because he always got the cool shit, and I got clothes, the vegetable soup of gifts.
Yeah, but those clothes today.
Look at me.
Yeah. Micronauts were because they were just they were tiny, but every fucking joint was articulated.
They were metal too. They had like their heads were like metal.
Yeah.
Spencer, what was your favorite toy growing up? Like the one toy that you could rely on?
I don't know. When you're talking about Micronauts, it reminded me of Z-Bots, which seem kind of similar. They're like a collectible figure that's pretty small. But yeah, I don't know. I like Connects.
For me, it was Legos and Star Wars action figures.
Yeah.
The Legos is the best. And then
Legos
you have to go pee in the middle of the night, and you step in a Lego, and you just die because it hurts. Like
Steven got a fucking AT-AT walker.
What?
And I got a fucking sweater.
I feel like though that's because
I'm like, what the fuck is this? I told you the Ken doll story, right? I told you that.
No, tell
it again.
I would play Barbies with the girls next door a lot.
And you would win.
I would win when they would leave the room, and I would pull my dick out and rub them all over the Barbies.
Wait. How jokey is that joke?
How jokey?
Yeah,
it's not a joke.
You would rub your dick on the Barbies?
And I would kiss them. And
you rub your dick on them?
Yeah.
On the Barbies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was 21. No. I was so in love with Barbies. Like I would just kiss them and rub them on my face and everywhere and take off their clothes, and it was just so fascinating.
Well, you didn't have sisters either, and
No.
I did. I had a sister, but she was institutionalized. She didn't have Barbies. And so like that. There's
Not
part of that is,
related.
like deprivation. Like if you're not raised around a sister,
Yeah.
you're encountering femininity for the first time through girls' toys.
Rainbow Bright.
Right.
Like you go to the girl across the street, or it's like you're getting play dates or whatever. It's like this girl's got these girl toys, and the girl toys are like they're girls
they're doing
with
something
hair
to
and
me.
skirts and like you're maybe 7 years old, but you're fucking you're still a little barbarian.
Yeah, I was snarf humping on these toys, and I guess I played with Barbies enough that my parents told my grandma, "Well, what does Stephen, Robbie, what does Jeffrey, Robbie, what does Robbie want for Christmas?" And they told him the Barbie story, and so but don't give him a Barbie. And they gave me, because then they don't want a gay son.
Right.
So they gave me a Ken doll. So I open it up. Steven gets like fucking Ewoks and Mumras and shit, and I'm like sitting there and I open it up and I get a Ken doll. And I looked at it, and all this went like flashed through my head. And I was like, oh my God, they think I'm gay. And this is a way to stop it.
And it's totally ineffective. This is making me way gayer.
Yeah. And then I start full on.
They put the pedal to the metal.
This guy's a beefcake.
Yes. And then I full on snot cry, and I'm going, Grandma, I didn't want this. I didn't want this. Stomping my foot. Way too old to be that like fucking.
And part of it is
Cartman level crying.
Part of it is it's a disappointing gift, but most of it is
like, oh my
the
God,
humiliation.
it was me screaming to the world. No, you don't understand. I wanted to tell him. No,
I'm straight as an arrow. That's why I love those Barbie dolls.
I'm too straight. I'm dangerously straight.
Yes.
I put my dick on a Barbie.
I like the idea that your parents
my
thought
dad beat the shit out of me. Like
And
that
then
was the worst thing. Like he beat me to death,
And
and then
that is why you're
stuck my
straight.
face in the corner and made me stay there forever because I was like, no, I don't want this. I don't want it.
You got the wrong idea. I was molesting those dolls.
But if you had opened up the Ken doll and go, ooh, hooray, like he would have liked that too?
I don't know.
That's the part that I'm
I think
fascinated by.
They were trying to redirect.
Is that they were sort of like, I like the nuance with which this Midwestern family is going like, well, he spends an awful lot of time with those girl toys. Isn't there a masculine aspect to them that we could use to ring him back into the roller derby?
Oh my God, I was like so upset.
I walked into my son rubbing his dick on a female doll. Let's give him a male doll to rub his dick on.
That's not they didn't know he was rubbing his
they
dick
didn't know
on.
that.
I mean, I don't
They
know.
thought he was interested in playing with the female dolls.
Right.
They didn't know he was properly objectifying women at an early
Yeah.
age, and that
Yeah.
there was nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Steve is getting the Death Star.
You got the fucking AT-AT with the fucking
everything.
Luke can fly out the bottom of the AT-AT.
But isn't part of this, Rob? Because I grew up with I've got an older brother, and like a big tradition in the Midwest in our generation was the Christmas would come, and they'd just take the Sears catalog and plop it in front of you. And
they stopped doing that after
you discovered the bra section,
right?
Yeah, but I mean, like the Toys R Us catalog, like it would be like, oh, Santa wants to know what you want, and then you'd have to like go through the book, and like there's all these kick-ass toys, but you like point at them and go, I want that. And their parents would go, no, Santa can't afford that, you fucking idiot.
No.
And then you'd settle on a thing that was like, I assume around $30 in Carter era, like where it's like whatever Optimus Prime was worth in 1980.
I didn't get that. I didn't get Optimus Prime.
But I'm just saying, like that process, though. I'm saying I would end up
a fucking Ken doll, and it was one where you could put like you can give him a sideburns or a beard or whatever, and he's got a suit and tie, and maybe you could dress up and comb your hair every once in a while, Robbie. And it's like Steven's like in the 25th century, and Jeff is building stuff out of Apollo Lego, and I just get the clothes and the fucking shit.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I'm like, this is good. I like this.
Yeah, everything bad happening to you is actually good.
Why?
Because Dan says so.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying it's good to see he's alive. He's your fear of being angry, your fear of being of just a barbaric. They might be part of it. Like we want to be good guys. We want to be gentle and evolved and